MAGA fans are abandoning Donald Trump in droves after he told them that he doesn't want their support anymore if they still care about the Epstein files. In response to that statement on Truth Social this morning, thousands of people in the comments are going after him. This one says, "So prove it was a hoax instead of bashing your past supporters because this isn't helping your midterm chances." That one got 2.9 thousand likes. Or this one from Greeks for Trump, so you know it's no liberal. They said, "Why is the Epstein case so important to the MAGA movement? It's why Trump won in 2016. He promised to rip the mask off the globalist elite and drain their filthy swamp." Whatever that means. If the GOP betrays that mission again, at least a third of the base walks, and they will lose 2026 guaranteed. And finally, this one from another MAGA fan. "You are pissed off that MAGA does not buy into your temper tantrum. This is your Waterloo, Mr. President. Blaming people like me who've stood by you through thick and thin is disloyalty. Without us, you are nothing but a bully running out of choices." So as you can see, MAGA is not happy. Donald Trump can tell his supporters to move on all he wants, but it's just not working, and every time he speaks about it, more questions get raised.
Hello guys, welcome back to the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're talking about Trump voters, the MAGA voters who voted for Trump. So things are getting really serious when you start hearing or you start noticing that people who swore by something are beginning to have a change of heart, or they're beginning to um move the other way around or turn back to the other party, or try to see that they thought that this thing they believed in was going to be the right decision, but at the end of the day they realized that it was all a lie, or they have been lied to or deceived, right? So a lot of MAGA voters are beginning to come out and they are beginning to speak out on the fact that um, they trusted the person that they trusted and the person they voted for has turned out to be someone who has been lying to them for years, someone they defended. Like, they literally defended this person. They went all out for this person, and they said, "No, we are with you 100%." And now, for some reason, they're beginning to realize that maybe they made the wrong decision. All right, guys. So we're going to play out the rest of the video. And we're going to watch and hear what people have to say about this. Then when we come back, we're going to read the comments of some of these MAGA voters, and then we're going to know what they have to say about this. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment, because I would really like to know what you have to say or what you think about this topic. All rights remain to the original creators of these videos. Thank you so much for watching. Let's watch these videos and then we come back and talk about this some more.
Trump is mentioned 64 times in the Epstein files. In his many court cases, he has pleaded the fifth 97 times. He has 34 felony conviction criminal charges, 26 sexual assault allegations, 6 bankruptcies, 5 draft deferments, 4 indictments, 2 impeachments, 2 convicted companies, 1 fake university that was shut down, 1 charity that was shut down for fraud, and a $25 million fraud settlement. But yeah, sure, lecture me on how no one else is above the law. Because the way this country works is if you're rich, you can do whatever and the laws don't apply to you. There's always a loophole. Rich people are above the law. We're in an oligarchy. They make the laws to benefit them. It's not hard.
It's official. Trump has ordered the Department of Justice to no longer prosecute men for abusing children. He has decided that all of the men that were involved with Epstein to violently assault and abuse children will not be held accountable. He will not be prosecuting them. And they can continue to assault children wherever they want. He fired the lead prosecutor. He said the case is over and done with. He said it was a hoax, even though we have dozens and dozens of women who are out there saying this happened to them. And they know the names of the men who did this to them. Trump has decided they're not going after those men. They're allowed to roam free. Do we understand that the administration has taken a stance in favor of men abusing children? That is their official position. They're letting these men go out and abuse children, knowing full well who they are, because the women who were children when they were originally assaulted told them who they are, and they're choosing not to go after them.
There's a MAGA civil war raging right now as Trump supporters across America are pissed at Trump after he put out a statement on Truth Social basically calling the Epstein files a Democrat hoax and also saying that we just need to stop giving Jeffrey Epstein any of our attention. Here's a screenshot of a part of Trump's statement. He starts off by saying that the Epstein files were created by Obama, Clinton, and the criminals of the Biden-Harris administration. And he also says that they created these files just like they created some other fake documents that they've used against him in the past. And then at the end of his statement, he says that we should stop wasting our time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, basically telling people to stop talking about it. And when I said that this has MAGA pissed, I wasn't kidding. Truth Social is his app for him and his followers. There's not a large liberal movement over there. Let's go ahead and read some of the replies from this post. L. Milford says in response to Trump's post, "You are losing many in your base. Sir, you need to listen to us." Tyler says, "Mr. President, you did make the promise, just saying." And Lighthouse says, "Sorry, this just isn't holding water." AJ says, "Read the room. You need to deliver on this or be fired." And Mr. Grumpy Deplorable says he's not buying it.
The Epstein files are worse than apparently a lot of people thought, and now the rats are fleeing the ship. Reports are from David Schuster that over 100 Republicans are going to join the Democrats to release the Epstein files because they have just been briefed by the DOJ, and we all knew the Epstein files were going to be damning, but this apparently is next level and is waking people up. They have tried to protect these PDFs for way too long. And now, only when it looks like the tides are going to turn and things are going to inevitably come out, they are fleeing the ship. And do not let these 100 plus Republicans off the hook. If they are one of your congressmen or women, you need to ratchet up the public shame on these people, because they are not doing this because it's the right thing. They are not doing this to protect and help the victims. They are not doing this to seek justice. They are doing this to save their own political career and hide. They realize that Donald Trump is a losing bet, a lame duck president who just got blown out. In every single election, the Republicans have a losing bid right now, and they know that this is going to cost them the election if they go down with Donald Trump. I don't know how much more damage it could be. I've seen some of the rumors and the reports from this journalist about additional images, but apparently it is so much worse than any of those knuckleheads thought, and they are finally turning around.
I was on the metro on the way into New York City for a conference when the Epstein files, the latest, were released. And this is what I want to say to my evangelical peers. Walk away from Trump. Why you haven't already is hard for me to fathom. But walk away from him now, or his vile acts are on you in the complicity. And you won't be able to ever say again that you actually defend the ones that Jesus told us to defend. And you won't ever be able to say again that you actually care about our nation's children.
A while back, I was talking to a woman who voted for Donald Trump, and I asked her, do you think that Trump has committed the act of... The response was that we haven't seen the Epstein files, so we don't really know, and Bill Clinton did all of this, and I don't like Kamala Harris because of all of this other stuff. And I had to slow her down and be like, wait. I asked a very specific question. Do you think, in your personal opinion, that he has committed that act at some point in his life? And when I finally got her to answer the question that I asked, instead of 100 questions that I didn't ask, she said, yes, I think he probably has. She said, just knowing the person that he is and the person that he was when he was younger, I think at some point in his life, he probably has done that. And then she said, even so, I think he was a better choice than Kamala Harris. And I think about this conversation every time another set of Epstein files are released. That I shouldn't hold out hope that people are going to see the Epstein files and be like, oh my goodness, he's not who I thought he was. Well, we made a horrible mistake. No, a lot of people who voted for him thought that's who he was and voted for him anyway. Like when they voted for him the second time, he had already been found liable by a jury of sexual abuse. We already knew that he started dating his second wife while he was married to his first wife. We already knew that he falsified business records to hide hush money payments that he made to a porn star that he slept with 4 months after his third wife, Melania, gave birth to his son, Barron. People voted for him knowing that he was not a morally sound person. So if they find out that he did horrible things, that's not going to change their minds about him. They already know that he did horrible things. That's what they already believe. What I don't understand is how people can believe that someone who has shown over and over again that they're willing to abuse others and take advantage of others and cheat for their own self-interests is going to put you first, is going to put us first, that he's going to put the success of our country and of the American people over his own personal interests. Because if he wasn't loyal to any of his 3 wives, why would he be loyal to us? Like, why wouldn't you expect a man who has done horrible things in his past to do horrible things in his present? But whatever the answer is, I do think that the Epstein files can shock us and horrify us, but I don't think that they will change anyone's minds. Because no one ever thought he didn't do those things, even his supporters.
Trump may have really miscalculated with these Epstein list debacle. This could be really bad. I am shocked but excited to see how much MAGA is fracturing over this. They are really, really angry. It's surprising to me because to those of us who have known and understood this whole time what kind of person Trump is, it's just shocking to see how far the wool is down over their eyes. Like, they really thought that this billionaire was going to drain the swamp. They really thought that this guy who brags about grabbing women by the who said a bunch of weird, gross stuff about his underage daughter, who bragged about walking in on teenage beauty pageant contestants while they're getting dressed, who had, Katie Johnson, who was 13, testified about what happened to her with Trump and Epstein when she was 13 years old. They really thought that that guy was going to be the one to release the Epstein list. They honestly believed that, and now they're really angry that that's not going to happen. I am all for it. I support you guys. This is like maybe the one thing out of a gazillion that we can agree on. But yeah, hold them accountable. Demand that he release the list. You're never going to get the real list. You're never going to get the real one because Trump is on it. Okay? But it's just shocking to see how angry they are because what they've been doing for 10 years is just apologizing for everything he does, pretending that he didn't say stuff that he said, and just making endless excuses. Could this be the first agenda item that they don't allow him to make excuses for? Could they really hold him accountable for this? I would love to see it. Good luck.
So a lot of MAGA voters have a lot of things to say, and trust me, it's not what they used to say before. They've had a change of heart. They've begun to start thinking things through. They are beginning to feel like maybe they didn't decide things properly, or they didn't make the right decision. You understand? So now let's read the comments and hear what some of them have to say. So one person said, I voted for Trump twice and defended him through everything. But this Epstein stuff hits different. He ran on, drained the swamp, and exposed the elite. Yet suddenly it excuses deflection and silence. If you promise transparency, then give it. If it makes people uncomfortable, we are tired of being told to ignore our own eyes. This is so funny. The next person said, this is what finally broke the spell for me. For years, we were told Epstein was the key to exposing corruption, child trafficking, and elite crimes. Now that Trump's name keeps coming up, suddenly MAGA wants to say Epstein is a distraction. No, you don't get to change the rules when it's your guy. Like, no, you don't get to do that. It's your guy doesn't mean we have to change the rule here. Like, we have to change the rules. Stay consistent. Like, if you say this thing has to happen, when it gets to you, it doesn't have to change. Stay consistent. And the next person said, it's still conservative, but I'm done with court politics. If Trump had nothing to hide, he would push for full release of the files. Instead, it's the same excuses politicians always use. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. That's self-protection. Like, what are you protecting yourself from? Like, didn't you say no? This is not right. So, what are you protecting yourself from? Like, release the files. Okay, release them. If you're not protecting yourself from something, then release the files. That's what people are saying. So the next one said, funny how Epstein mattered when it was about Clinton, Hollywood, and Democrats. But now that Trump is connected, people say there's no evidence and stop obsessing. The hypocrisy is loud. Accountability shouldn't depend on party. I'm so sorry I'm laughing, guys. Like, this is so funny because why does it have to be your person? Why does it have to get to your party and all of a sudden things have to change? Rules has to change. Like, it has to get to you and then things has to be different. Are you serious? But anyways, let's continue. I haven't turned on Trump, but I'm definitely questioning him. MAGA was supposed to be anti-elite, anti-corruption. Epstein represents everything we claimed to hate. Ignoring this makes us no different than the people we criticized for years. This person said, this is why people are walking away, not because they became liberals, but because they realized Trump isn't the outsider he sold himself as. He ran in the same circles, protected the same people, and now expects blind loyalty. That's not America first. That's ego first. Like, you're literally still protecting yourself. You're protecting your ego. You do not want people to probably see what they do not have to see, if there's anything there. So if you're not hiding anything, if you do not if you're not trying to protect yourself from anything, so why not release them? I mean, that's the least you could do. Release it for others to see. Do you get? So let's continue. The next person said, some of you all sound exactly like the Democrats you mocked for defending Biden and Clinton. It's fake news. They are out to get him. Timing is suspicious. We've heard it all before. Either we believe in truth or we don't. This person said, I stayed MAGA through January 6th fallout, indictment, media attacks, but Epstein is a moral line. If you campaigned on protecting children and exposing predators, you don't get a pass on this. Period. I like this. This person said, people saying this won't hurt Trump are missing the point. It's not about polls, it's about trust. MAGA voters believed Trump was different. The Epstein files are making a lot of us realize he might not be. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment in the comment section. And do not forget, all rights remains to the original creators of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment. Until I see you in the next one. Bye.